To pull off a fun, successful drill, you need two elements to be successful. First, you need to provide structure for both the trainer and the participants to have a successful learning environment. And two, you need to involve, engage, and have the firefighters actively participate. Now let's discuss each of the roles and responsibilities of the drill coordinator. He needs to be familiar with the stages of fire growth. Each stage define the conditions and consequences and draw the firefighter's interest in each. Needs to be familiar with the incipient, the growth stage, when flashover will occur, when a fire suddenly becomes fully developed, whether or not backdraft is a possibility, and during the decay stage. He also needs to let them know what the consequences are when a fire is either fuel or ventilation controlled. The drill coordinator also needs to know the 5 fire indicators, which we'll go over in further detail later, but building, smoke, thermal balance, heat, and flame should be able to describe each. Of course, being able to build and operate the dollhouse is essential to the drill coordinator's tasks. The construction is pretty simple. All you need is one sheet of plywood, a 4x8 3/4 inch particle board. Need to go ahead and cut it 15 7/8 squares. This should give you enough to have 2 dollhouses, and the scraps can be used to provide the fuel load for the building. The reason to construct 2 dollhouses is the drill instructor should go ahead prior to the class and actually utilize one of the dollhouses so that he can observe the time frames involved. Usually it's about 20 minutes for the start of the fire to the end of the fire. And this will help him identify the stages when he can do a flashover or backdraft demo. Now for the fun part. How do we get firefighters to move from the role of observers to participants? Well, let's give them something to do. There are several things that they can do or roles that you can assign depending on the number of participants. You can have a timekeeper, a smoke reader, thermal imaging operator, someone to identify the phases of the fire, and of course having an officer give a short report is an excellent opportunity for them to be involved. This is also an excellent time to discuss radio discipline, as having 5 people reporting at the same time will lead to confusion. So have the timekeeper just announce the time every minute. Have the person doing the phases of fire only identify changes. Person reading smoke do it on even minutes. Person doing the 360 on odd minutes. Now let's set the stage for our firefighters. We have a 1 in 400th scale model, but we want them to be involved and have them apply it practically to what they actually will face. So you have them responding to a fire in a single-story family dwelling of wood frame construction, and you identify it as an incipient fire burning in a bedroom on the Alpha Bravo corner of the structure. The fire is limited to a plastic trash can, which has waste paper in it, located next to the bed. You want your firefighters to be involved and engaged. So prior to the demonstration of the incipient fire, we need to have them answer a few questions or put some questions in their minds as far as what they're observing and what decisions they would make based on those observations. So what are the conditions from the exterior? What indicators at the front door to decide whether you make entry or not? What do you see in the living room and down the hallway? What conditions would you expect to find? What if there's something different that might be cause for concern? What should you do in this case? It's essential to think about what you are likely to find inside, and then what you actually find. And if there's something different, then you need to report that. Firefighters should be encouraged to use common terminology when answering the questions posed prior to the drill, utilizing what's the size of the building, what's the color velocity of the smoke, what's the thermal balance, what's the temperature, both high and low, ceiling and floor, and also what the flame conditions are. Now it's time to put our observations into practice. What we've observed determines what our tactics are. In an incipient fire, the survivability profile is high, the risks are low, and we should be able to go in. Time allowing, the drill coordinator can make some additional observations. Remember, predicting the stages of fire development allows firefighters to know what's going to happen next and to take effective tactical actions. Now let's go out and start a fire.